In this video we will be pouring 30 yards of concrete for a suspended garage floor. As you will see, this job requires an experienced crew to get the job done before the concrete gets too hard to work. The tools that they use are very specific for this job, and it made it worthwhile to hire the job out. Here you can see the pump truck extending its boom out to get ready for the pour. The first concrete truck is driving up to the pump truck, so the chute is lined up with the hopper. The concrete truck starts spinning its load faster, and the concrete starts filling the hopper. Now everything is ready to go. One of the guys on the crew operates the nozzle as the concrete starts coming out. The other guys are waiting for the concrete to get deep enough, so they can move it around with their placers. The man with the yellow jacket has a remote control that moves the arm of the pump truck. The nozzle operator lets him know what direction he wants it moved to. The workers are moving the concrete to make it roughly level. At this point they are not trying to make it perfect, but they don't want to have anything lower than the top of the forms. The worker in the orange shirt is making the concrete level by smoothing it out with a trowel and making it even with the forms around the perimeter. Here you can see the temporary support walls that are holding everything up. They can be removed after the concrete has cured for 30 days. Subscribe to my channel by clicking on the link in the bottom right-hand corner if you want to see more about this building project. Now that a larger area has been poured, more workers can be leveling at the same time. The worker in the gray sweatshirt is using a laser level to verify that the concrete is at the correct height. The power screed was used to make a flat, smooth area on the concrete that is at its final level. This will be used as a reference elevation later. Another reference pad is made where the depth of the concrete was verified with the laser level. Now the workers are moving the concrete to make it closer to the depth of the reference pads. The power screed is used again to smooth out the concrete between the reference pads. The workers are taking concrete away where it is too deep and adding more where it is not deep enough. Although it looks really good after this step, there is a lot more finishing to do later. A bull float is being used to flatten the surface even more. The worker is tossing more concrete with a trowel to fill in a low spot, then he flattens it out again. second concrete truck has arrived, and the pump truck is sending the concrete to the nozzle. The crew gets back to pushing and making the concrete roughly level. As they are filling the forms, they are also pouring up to the previous concrete. They are doing this because concrete starts hardening fairly fast, and both batches need to cure together. If the previous batch hardens too much, it causes what is called a cold joint. A cold joint can cause a weak area in the finished concrete. Since this is a suspended garage floor, I need all the strength I can get. Again, the workers are moving the concrete to make it more level for the power screed. If this video has been informative or entertaining for you, give me a like. If you have any suggestions for me, feel free to write them in the comment section. If you are wondering how much any of these tools cost, I added links to as many of them as I could find in the description. This is the third and final truckload of concrete. It is a little difficult to see, but I put ice and water shield everywhere that they were pouring up against the wood structure. Concrete can hold water for a long time, and I don't want to have any of my wood rot. Now that the forms have all been filled and leveled, and the first 2 truckloads of concrete have set up enough to walk on without sinking in, the power trawl is being used to even out the surface. As the blades on the power trawl spin, they push the bigger stone deeper into the surface of the concrete, and it brings smaller material to the surface. This material is called cream. Although the surface is looking rough at the moment, the cream will be able to be worked very smooth after several passes. A tool called an edger is used to round the corners of the concrete. Getting rid of the sharp edge not only fixes a safety issue, but it also makes it less likely to get chipped with use. The second pass with the power trawl is in a perpendicular direction to the first pass. This looks a little better than the first pass, but it still has ridges that need to be smoothed out. The third pass is run at a 45-degree angle to the first 2 passes. The surface is a lot smoother now. After this pass is done, they change the blades to ones that put a polished surface on the concrete. The finished surface turned out smooth enough that you could see a reflection in it. It was a good decision to leave this to an experienced crew. They did a great job. If you are interested in seeing how I supported 54 tons of concrete, check out my video on building my temporary structure.